Do you sometimes get the itch for sewing but have no idea what to make? If you're anything like me, a literal goblin with a craft stash full of small bits and bobs carefully curated over the years, acquired through attacking every fabric section of local second-hand shops every chance you get, this is a perfect project to use up some of those small pieces. It's quick, doesn't take a lot of material or energy for all you fellow craft goblins with very few spoons, and it looks more complicated than it is. And with the holidays quickly coming up, why not whip some of these up for your craftsy friends and family, or for yourself, to store one of your projects in. Hello and welcome to another video on my channel. I am Shaiyeh and I am here to walk you through making this bag. You will need fabric scissors, a tape measure, pens and thread, and of course pins or quilting clips. You will also need fabric, preferably 2 different colour ones and one for the lining. I pulled out a bunch of stash before settling on these 2 pieces of vintage fabric and this grey cotton for my lining. Optional to use is fusible interfacing, although I recommend it for this bag. My 2 pieces of fabric are square at 12.5 by 12.5 inches. This makes a medium-sized bag with the finished dimensions of about 10 inches tall by 11 inches wide, with a square bottom just over 5 inches wide. You can of course make a bag any size. To make the square bottom, I mark out 2.5 by 2.5 inches in each bottom corner of the light fabric. The keen-eyed among you will spot that I made an error and did 2 by 2.5. Don't be me. I repeat this on my dark fabric. I also cut out 2 pieces of fusible interfacing, also 12.5 by 12.5 inches, and the same goes for my lining. I also made 2 strips of the same fabric used for the lining for my drawstring channel. These are 12.5 by 2.5 inches and then ironed in half lengthwise. This next step is optional unless you have a cat. Thanks for the help, Cheddar. Next, I cut both my vintage fabric pieces in half and pair one light piece with a dark piece. I'm not showing this next step with the correct fabrics since I don't own an ironing board. I currently iron on a chair or table with a towel on it, which is awkward to film, so please enjoy this little animation. Place both your fabric pieces right side down on your ironing board. Place your fusible interfacing on top, sticky side down, and fuse it to the fabric. This is a handy tip for bigger patchwork pieces, like in this project. Fold your fused pieces in half and stitch it down, making sure to catch both sides of the fabric. Voila! Easy peasy patchwork. I top stitched it down, go as slowly as you want for this, and then repeated the entire process for my second panel. Pin the sides together and sew down both sides. Pin and sew the bottom. Make sure to leave your little corner squares open. This is where I caught my error in the squares. Like I said, don't be me. I simply took off an extra ½ inch on either side and reinforced the bottom seam where I had cut it off. Fold your bag in half and pin your open sides together and sew it down. Repeat these steps, sewing the sides, bottom and bottom sides for the lining fabric. Next, hem your drawstring channels. Fold in about ½ inch on either side and stitch it down. Fold the channel back in half. Turn your lining fabric right side out and place it in the outer bag, right sides together. Take care to line up the side seams well. Line the middle of the channel up with the middle seam of your bag and pin all layers of the bag together, sandwiching the channels into the bag. Make sure you have the raw edges of the channels lining up with the edges of the bag and lining. When sewing it all together, don't sew all the way around. Leave a gap big enough for you to be able to turn your bag right side out. Don't worry, we'll stitch this down later. Turn your bag and close the hole by pinning together all the layers. Make sure you align the lining and front piece so both get caught in your top stitch. I also go around the bag aligning the fabric so no unexpected fabric bubbles will happen. You may want to pin this. My fabric felt like it stayed well in place, so I only pinned the hole down. Now top stitch around the entire bag. Again, go as slowly as you want with this and make sure you catch both layers. Now all that's left is adding a drawstring. I use some soft-ish cotton twine, braided with 4 strands, just a little longer than the bag is wide. times 2. Thread it through your channel, knot it off and thread a second drawstring through the other way. And you're done! We have now completed this two-tone drawstring bag. I hope you've enjoyed this video and maybe found it useful. Will you be making one of these bags? If you make one, I would love to see it. Tag me if you make one at Shaiyeh or use the channel's hashtag #WitchAndItsPodcast on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already and would like to keep seeing what I make on this channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the little bell to get notified when I upload. Like the video if you liked it and leave a little comment. Info on measurements can be found in the description as well as links to my socials. Thank you again so much for being here and I will see you again in another video very, very soon. Have a great time and take care of yourself until I see you again. Bye!